Christian Mickelsen is the author of 5 #1 best-selling books. He's the owner of a multi-million-dollar coaching business that has made the Inc. 5000 list of fastest-growing companies in America 4 years in a row. When he started coaching over 20 years ago, he felt that if he could just change a few people's lives, that all of his struggle to make it in coaching would be worth it.
Life is too short to not be your best self. Life is too short to not make the biggest difference that you can make. And you know what? We are here to make a difference.
Fast forward, and now he's one of the highest paid coaches in the world and has helped hundreds of thousands of coaches in over 108 countries get clients and build wildly successful coaching businesses.
Christian alone is responsible for millions of dollars of growth in my business, but more than just that, responsible for calling me out to be more and more of myself.
Because of you and your early support for me, I get to really do what I love.
It's really inspiring to see one person lead a group of leaders and do it in a way that everybody feels heard, and it's an honor being one of your best friends.
If you want to be rich, famous, successful, happy, be in a great relationship, be in great health, whatever you want, you can have. And the biggest thing keeping us from what we want is ourselves.
See, that's your superpower. To be able to think big and in a very unrestricted fashion. And that's the kind of thinking that takes you to the next level.
You don't want to create a game where you're the only one at the top, but you want to lift all of us up to join you. And you get so excited about our successes, and I really can feel that coming from you.
The difference you can make in this world is astronomical. And as you heal yourself more and more and become a greater version of yourself, you inspire others to do the same. And you can go out in the world and make the impact that you were always born to make.
You're a rock star, so we just want to be like you when we grow up.
You honestly, genuinely care, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can go on and on and on, but I do not want to cry.
I am setting people free. I am taking a stand for people's greatness, and I am not settling. I will not see anyone as small. I will not see anyone as incapable. I see everyone as big, as infinitely powerful, infinitely creative, and infinitely resourceful, and that you can have, be, and do anything you want, and I will not settle for less. So we got a lot we're going to do today. We're going to talk about specifically how to drive record profits. Then we need to get clear on what would be record profits for you. So let's take a few moments. I want you to write down, you can write down all your goals for this year and beyond. Top line sales goals, bottom line profit goals, and any other goals that you want, okay? Take a few moments, let's write them down. All right, so who's excited about those goals? Raise your hand if you have some excitement. I want you to imagine all of those things happening right now. Insta success, all of those things happening right now. I want you to notice what it feels like. Raise your hand if it feels great having all of that come true. Nice. Raise your hand if you also have some yikesy feelings when you think about all that happening right now. Okay, so those yikesy feelings are some feelings that might need to get some healing, because it's like, well, I want it, but maybe I'm afraid of it. And we all have, most people tend to have mixed feelings about things they want. People want to fall in love, but they're afraid to have their heart broken. People want to be rich, but they don't want to be judged for, oh, you're greedy and selfish, blah, blah, blah. You know, some people, want to be thin, but are afraid to get unwanted attention. So it's like there's a part of them that wants to be thin, but there's another part of them that is afraid to be thin. So we've got to be able to make peace with the parts of us that are scared of the things that we want. And so you have more, Rohit said, more skeptical than afraid. And that could be it too. You might have feelings of doubt, and those are good things to let go of. Or frustration, like, yes, I want that, but I'm so frustrated with the way it is. That's never going to happen. It's too hard, all that stuff. So those are things that we want to clear up. So if we're going to drive record profits, that's going to be a big part of it, is going to be working through and healing the things that need healing. Now, the first step to driving record profits is the step we just took, is to set a goal for the record profit amount that you want. So step one is the goal. And you got clear and you wrote it down either in the chat or you wrote it down for yourself. So congratulations on step one accomplished. Give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah, and maybe a round of applause. Maybe send yourself some hearts, some love. Yes, there's some love for you guys. Good job. Okay, step two is to decide to make it happen. to decide to do whatever it takes to make it happen. To decide you're having it, so that it's not a hope, it's not a wish, and it's not just a goal, but it's a decision. Decision means you cut off. Decision. You cut off the possibility of anything else happening, and you decide that this is the way that you're going. You're going to create these record profits. You might not even know how you're going to do it yet. And you know what? That's better. Because the how can be, it's a trap. Not knowing how, I don't know how, or if I have a how, but what if there's this other way, it's some other opportunity? We get distracted sometimes by the how. No, it's important to have a plan. We're going to create a plan today. Okay, you're gonna leave this training with the plan for creating record profits. But we don't need to jump straight to that. Most important thing is getting clear and then deciding. So right now, I want you to decide, I am having this amount of profit this year. I am achieving all of the goals that I wrote this year. Right now, decide it, make the decision, lock it in. Okay. And you know what? Heck, I'm standing up for this training. If you want to stand up for this training, that's awesome too. Let's get some more energy out of all of us. Anybody want to do it? Who wants to join me? Stand up. Stand up. Stand up to make this decision. Stand up to make this decision. Yes. Yes. Let's get some energy. Let's get some energy. All right. So we're going to start off. You're going to make the decision and lock it in. Okay. Lock it in. I've decided. Okay. Decided. This is what I'm creating. I've decided. And then I want you to stand in celebration of it. Stand up and celebrate it. Celebrate all that you're achieving as if it's already happened. Well, thank God. Thank you, God, for helping create this incredible year for myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping create this incredible year for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So grateful, so grateful. That one of the keys to success is gratitude in advance. I'm so grateful. We want to celebrate and be proud of ourselves and be grateful in advance. Just stand in this celebration. This physiology changes your state, not just in the moment, but by doing this for at least 90 seconds, it affects you in a permanent way. It starts rewiring your brain. So now, yes, you can yell out, yes, woohoo, we did it. We did it. Yes, yes, oh, yes. All right. So step one is get clear on what you want. Step two is decide to have it. Step three is to celebrate and be grateful in advance. I'm so grateful. All this love, money, success, health, and happiness flowing into our lives in ever increasing amounts day after day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Prayers of gratitude. I have air conditioning going on, and I am like so sweaty. Not sweaty, but I feel very hot. And I gotta crank the air. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of sitting down for the last. I think that's the thing. Last 2023, I was sitting down doing webinars a lot. 2024, I'm going to stand for all of them. I feel like I have more energy, and it's more fun. All right. So you guys ready? Drive record profits. Okay. Since we're talking about business, profits equals business, and not just manifesting money in general. But if you're talking about profits, then you need to understand one important thing, and that is why people buy coaching. I share this all the time. People don't pay for coaching, they pay for results. So if you want to drive record profits, then you need to have an incredible result that people are starving for, people are hungry for, that people are ravenous for. What is a result that you can create or you do create that is like so juicy and so like people just want it so bad? What is it? What is the thing that you help them achieve or problem that you help them solve that they're like, oh, I gotta get out of this pain or I gotta achieve this thing? What is that? And we need to be able to define it very specifically and describe it using very enticing words. So I need to take a moment and think about it. What is the result I help people do that people are really hungry for? So for me, I help coaches get lots of clients. high-paying clients, dream clients, have a coaching business of their dreams. That is what I help people do. One of the reasons why I do that is because I secretly am on a mission to get the whole world coached, because I believe that coaching is the most powerful force for change on earth. When I was at my lowest point in my life, I hired a coach. And as many low points, and in many points where I was just really hungry for change, I've hired many coaches in my life. And every time I hire a coach, my life changes dramatically for the better. So I'm a huge believer in the power of coaching, and I want to get the whole world coached. I can't coach everybody myself. So the best thing I can do is get as many coaches as possible to get as many clients as possible. And years ago, when we were in the early days of the coaching industry, people used to say, hey, we need to just educate people on how valuable coaching is. And I actually think the opposite. Instead of trying to educate the public on what coaching is and how it'll help them, we need to educate ourselves on what clients want and market that to them. When we understand what it is that people want, then and we can describe it in a very enticing way, then it's getting clients gets so much easier, so much easier. So what is the big shift? What is the big result? What is the big problem that you help people solve, or that you help people resolve, or you help people achieve? What is it for you? Type it in the chat. Happy in relationship now. First of all, great job on having it be a 3-4 word phrase. Happy in relationship now. That's solid. That's solid. I'd say that's a good 7-8 on a scale 0 to 10. That's a good 7-8, maybe even a little higher. There might be a way to dial it up a little bit, but you're very much in the right ballpark. You're right. You're there. Make income from their books. Make income from their books. So these are people who already have books but don't have the income, Jessica? Or is this people who need to write a book? Okay. So they have books, but they're not making money from them. Interesting. What I think people who have authors usually don't think they're going to necessarily make a ton of money from their books. I think it's like make your book a bestseller, or make your book make you famous. Might be even hotter for authors. Something to consider. Love coach. That's about you, not about the client. So what does the client get? Attract your soulmate now, something like that. I help people define and realize their dreams. That's very vague. The more specific you are, the more enticing you are. So for example, I usually do this with people at my seminars. After lunch, I'll say, hey, who here wants some food? Raise your hand if you want some food. And at my events, if it's after lunch, people aren't very hungry, so not a lot of people raise their hand for food. Then I'll say, who here wants dessert? Now some more hands go up. Maybe 10, 15% of the room will raise their hand, say they want some dessert. Then I'll say, who here wants a dark chocolate covered strawberry? Now 70, 80% of the room raises their hands, and a lot of the hands that go up are very enthusiastic hands. Me, I want a dark chocolate covered strawberry. So if you say I help people clarify and then achieve their dreams, you're talking, it's food. But if you take a specific dream, like attract your soulmate now it's a dark chocolate covered strawberry. And so the more of a dark chocolate covered strawberry you have, the more enticing it is. You want to drive record profits. This is one of the most important secrets. You got to get this dialed in. Now, we may not all be able to get this all dialed in right here, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of people who have, you can have the same amount of energy and effort to, in your coaching business, right? Work the same number of hours, go to the same number of networking events, do as much social media posting, do all the things that you do, right? If you do it with food, you're going to get some people who are hungry enough. You're going to get, you got some clients here and there. Who here has been getting some clients here and there for the last couple of years? Just get some clients here and there. Everybody just get clients here and there. If you're only getting clients here and there, one of the big reasons why, especially if you're doing a lot of work, there's a couple of reasons why you might only be getting clients here and there. One, you might not be doing a lot of work to get the clients. But number two, if you are doing a lot of work, but you're only getting clients here and there, it's probably because you don't have that really enticing thing that you say, hey, I help people get this thing. I help people get in the best shape of their lives. I help people this, I help people that, right? When you talk about the things people care about, I call it speaking the language of clients. When you can do that, in a way that's really enticing, people go, I gotta have it. I gotta have it, right? Think about it in terms of, if people could just push a button and get the result, would people pay $5,000, $10,000 for it? You know, if people would pay $5,000 or $10,000 for that result, if they could just push a button and magically get the result, then that's probably a good niche market. That's probably a good communicating of what you have. Okay, so let's do some tests here. Who here would pay $5,000 if they could push a button and instantly be at your ideal weight for the rest of your life? Who here would pay $5,000 for that? Who here would pay $10,000 for that? Who here would pay $25,000 for that? I would pay $25,000 for that. Yeah. Who here would pay $50,000 for that? Hell, I'd pay $100,000 for that, easy. So when you have a really clear, specific thing, it's like, whoa, people want it. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean people are going to pay $100,000 for your coaching, but it could mean that, because now people have to contend with making the investment, but also the process. Like, ooh, am I going to have to give up this? I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to work out. I'm going to have to do these things. And it's going to be harder, right? And then also you might have to contend with their fear of being, you know, I mentioned earlier, some people want to be thin, but they're also afraid to get a lot of unwanted attention. So it might need to, there's could have other things that might be holding people back from saying yes to hiring you. But you can see, if you have a very clear, specific outcome, people are willing to pay big money for it. Okay. Who here would pay $5,000 to find your soulmate and live happily ever after? Who here would pay $5,000 for that? Okay. Who here would pay $10,000 for that? I'd pay $10,000 for that. Who here would pay $25,000 for that? I would. Nice. So some would. Great. Who here would pay $100,000 for that? I think I'd pay $100,000 even for that. Yes, some other hands are up too. So you think about, like, that's the thing. Like, when you have a really clear, specific outcome that people are like, oh my gosh, I want that. People are willing to pay big money for it. All right. And when we come up with our way of describing it, let's get ourselves out of it. Like here, Dr. Susie's got, I work with high-performing leaders, achieve sustainable, holistic wealth, support teams in playing. Like, that's very convoluted. High-performing leaders. Does that means, what's a high-performing leader? Is that a business owner, or is that a leader in a company? You know, and then it's like, oh, well, it could mean this or it could mean that. Well, anytime you have it could mean and it could mean and it could mean, it's usually not clear and specific enough. So we want to get very clear, very specific. Okay, let's keep things moving. Just know that you need to have something that is very clear, specific, and enticing. Here's one more. We have Michael's got one. It says, end procrastination permanently. Who here would spend $5,000 to end procrastination permanently? I might too. I don't even know if I procrastinate much, but it sounds pretty good. End procrastination permanently. You know what? Maybe I'll do it, but I'll do it later. That's the one downside to doing things on virtual. I can't hear the laughs. Thank you for typing in the LOLs and the hee-hees. That's great. Well, end procrastination permanently. I love it. I love it's clear, it's specific. It's end the thing, and it's not just now, end procrastination now, it's end procrastination permanently, which sounds even more valuable. Because end procrastination now feels like, okay, cool, but then I might still keep doing it later. But end procrastination permanently is powerful. That's valuable. That's a challenge that people have, procrastinating, that costs people a lot. Awesome. Get your health back forever. Is it possible to end it permanently? Procrastination permanently? I don't know. Maybe. It's never too late to put things off. What was the one we were just doing? What did we say? Oh yeah, there was one. Oh, get your health back forever. Okay. Health. Get your health back forever. Well, so the more specific health, okay, super quick, and then we got to keep things moving. There's 4 major categories of niche markets. There's health, money, relationships, and special interest. Okay. So if you go from achieve your dreams, that's food. If you go to get healthy now or get your health back, now you're in dessert. I mean, you go from food to dessert. Okay. But you're not a dark chocolate covered strawberry yet. So get your health back. It's like, okay, now it's not as general as live your dreams. It's more specific. So now it's health, but it's still vague. Health could mean a lot of things, right? End back pain now, or end anxiety now, or, whatever the thing is, right? Or, I'm sure legally this may not be something you could say. I'm not an attorney, but it's like cure your cancer forever, right? Maybe you can't say that, but like, reverse type 2 diabetes. So if you could, what you want to be specific on your health thing. So pick a specific thing around health, and now you're going to have people lining up around the block, right? Chronic illness, okay, that's better. If you pick a specific chronic illness, I think you'll be even more dark chocolate covered strawberry. Or you go from a chocolate covered strawberry, which might be the end chronic illness, might be a chocolate covered strawberry. And then if you pick a specific chronic illness, it might be even dark chocolate covered strawberry because it's even more specific. Okay, you guys get the gist of this, but this is so important because that's the difference between driving, getting clients here and there and driving record profits. Eliminate sports mental blocks now. Well, people would have to know they have a mental block, so that's interesting, and some people may and some people may not. So here's the thing, right? Eliminate sports mental blocks now. Dr. Sue, I like where you're going. This is one of those things where if we can just massage this thing a little bit, then kazow, we can crush it potentially. And it's the difference between getting some clients here and there and getting clients consistently and getting high-paying clients is when you can say the thing that people are like, ooh, I need that, right? So I'm not sure what it is yet for eliminate sports mental blocks now. Sports mental blocks now. Sports mental blocks now. All right, so this might take some work. I don't know if we're gonna crack the code on it right now. But in my mind, I'm starting to think like, okay, winning mindset, fear, right? Because if it's like mental block or where did it go here? Eliminate sports mental blocks. What is a sports mental block? But I'll tell you, like, if you look at Ben Simmons, rising star, amazing athlete, doing great, and then all of a sudden he clicked into something, and he's had some huge problems that led to then getting back surgery, which again may have been emotional related. I would venture that it is. And he needs this stuff, right? So, and if Ben Simmons, who's making, signs $100 million plus contracts, and his next contracts might be a crappy one if he can't get this thing figured out, but it's worth, it'd be worth spending $100,000 or $1 million even to get this thing figured out for Ben Simmons and others. So there's a lot here. I'm going to keep things moving just because I have a lot left to cover, but there's something here that if we can say it in the right way, I think you can get, you can attract a lot more clients. Okay. Turn your business idea into reality. Could be good. I don't personally love I like working with people who already have a business, but there's definitely a market there. Sports fears, doubts. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to keep things moving. Okay. So now, once you get that lined up, boom, you know exactly what it is. You say it, and people are like, oh, I want that, right? When you've got that, driving record profits becomes a lot easier. The other thing, though, that you need a consistent strategy for driving record profits. So how are you going to get these clients consistently? There are a lot of different things you can do to get clients. I'm going to share them really quick. We're not going to go in depth into them, but you don't need to do all of them. You need to pick a couple of them and really get good at them. And when you get good at those things, get them dialed in, and then it becomes, start getting clients like clockwork. So one of the things you can do to get clients is you can do networking. You just go to local networking events, Chamber of Commerce, BNI, LATIP, and others. There's places you can go where other business owners or other people are networking, where you can go and potentially get clients right from those places. Even seminars are a good place to network. If you're a dating coach, go to seminars where there's people who are there for learning. Learning dating. A relationship coach, go to a relationship seminar. Because then you're going to be surrounded by people who want exactly what it is that you do. Yes, Ileana says Eckhart Tolle did a course called Know Thyself. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When you have a big audience, you can have a program that doesn't have a great name, or maybe to some people that is a great name, but I love Eckhart Tolle, so I'm a fan of all stuff, and I didn't sign up for that program. I think You know, maybe one day I'll be his marketing coach and help him with some of the stuff, because he's great. Not that he needs the marketing. His business is probably more successful than mine. I'm not sure actually what his revenues are, but what his revenue and profits are. But I know more people know who he is than know who I am so far. But he's great. I'm a huge fan of Eckhart Tolle. He's I think he's one of the most enlightened people on earth. So big fan. But you can do a lot of things wrong and still have success. But when you line up as many things as possible, you know, when you have as many things as possible lined up, success becomes a lot easier. Write that down as one of my goals for 2024. Yeah, I don't know. Do I want to coach Eckhart Tolle? Yeah, I guess that'd be cool. All right, I'm down for that. Somebody on my team make a note of that so that I can manifest it. I could forget. Okay, so now you need a system. So okay, networking. That's one way to get clients. JV partners is like networking on steroids, where you actually partner with people who have a big audience that they can promote you to their audience. So networking, I think of networking as like, you go places to get clients. You can also then do networking to find JV partners. So JV partners are finding people who also work with the same kind of people that you do. So if you're a business coach, you would JV up with people who have business owners and their as their clients. If you are a dating coach, you would partner up with people who have single people and their as clients. But it could also be, you could partner up with a hair salon. You could partner up with a boutique store, right, that sells to women or something. And you could actually do something. This is an advanced strategy that I teach in Client Attraction and Money Making Mastery, one of my more advanced programs. But it's called the Stone Soup Strategy, where you get all these JV partners to promote your workshop for you. So you could have a workshop, you could host it at that boutique, or you could host it at that hair salon. You do the workshop there, and then, you know, the hair salon owner tells everybody, hands out flyers for you. The boutique hands out flyers for you, and they get all these people to come to your workshop. And then at the workshop, you promote and say, hey, by the way, you know, you guys, if you're single and dating, you should get the latest hairstyles from Jane's hair salon. And you should get the most stylish, sexy, whatever outfits from Betty's boutique, right? So that's called the Stone Soup Strategies. That's JV partners, and then you using a workshop to help them promote you. All right, so we did networking, we did JVs. What else can you do to grow your audience and get clients? Social media marketing, right? Publishing lots of content, videos, going live, all that kind of stuff. Very important. Yeah, JVs / affiliates, I would say. So you got networking, JVs, affiliates. Then you've got social media marketing, advertising. Okay, you could advertise on social media, but you could also advertise directly to your audience. If there's, like, let's say you're a business coach and you coach a specific, you know, industry. Say you coach attorneys. Maybe attorneys have a special website that everybody goes to, and you could advertise on that website. Or if they have an association, you could advertise there. Public speaking is a great way to get clients. One of the best ways to get clients is public speaking, because when people see you speak, if you're a decent speaker and you teach great stuff, people will instantly see you as an expert and they'll want to work with you. So I love public speaking as a great way to get clients. You could also host your own events, your own workshops, like the Stone Soup workshops. You could also host your own seminars and things like that. But being a guest speaker at someone else's event, creating your own workshop, and then what is it called? Podcasting. Yes, exactly, Adrian. We're in tune. So podcasting is also great. You could be a guest on the podcast, or you can create your own podcast, and both of those things can help you get clients. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick the top 3 out of all the strategies I just shared with you: social media, networking, JV partners, speaking gigs, podcasting, advertising. Out of all of those things, if you were going to pick the top 3 that you want to focus on this year, what would they be? And then after you pick your top 3, I want you to sort them in order: number 1, number 2, number 3, and what order you want to focus on them. Like, you know, maybe you're only going to do 1, maybe you won't do all 3. You don't necessarily have to do 3. If you just get average, I know people who just dialed in their ads and crushed it and never did any of the other stuff, and that's okay too. Affiliates are similar to JV partners. An affiliate, I think of JV partners are people that you actually have a personal relationship with of some sort. It may not be a deep personal relationship, but you might have a relationship with them. An affiliate might be like, if I was an affiliate, I don't know if Amazon still does affiliate stuff, but they used to do affiliate marketing. and they could promote a lot of books and eventually earn commissions. And Amazon doesn't know who you are promoting their stuff. It's just a bunch of people promoting you. So that's great. JV partner is like, you know who they are. They know who you are. You have a bit of a relationship with them. Maybe you promote them and they promote you. But very similar. Okay. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take your strategies that you're going to do to grow your business, to get clients, and everything that we've talked about today, your goals, and I want you to make some decisions. What would be your overall action plan for the year? Big picture, not a to-do list, but a big picture. What are the most important things you're going to do over the next 12 months? And then get a little bit more defined and do what are you going to do over the next 90 days? And then what are you going to do over the next 2 weeks to really get some great momentum? So we're going to create 3 plans right now. Your plan for the year, big picture, what do you need to do? Then a little bit more specific on the 90-day. And then what are you going to do over the next 2 weeks? To do next 2 weeks was probably going to be more like a to-do list. Over the next 12 months is action plan. Like it's going to be, okay, I'm going to go to 5 networking events, per month. I'm going to do 2 speaking gigs a month. I'm going to do, so think big picture, then get a little bit more defined with 90-day action plan. And then what are you going to do in the next 2 weeks to just get some really great quick momentum? One difficult thing, maybe one challenging thing, but a bunch of really easy things that you can do to get a lot of momentum over the next 2 weeks. So you got your plan, 12-month plan, 90-day action plan, 2-week plan. What is it going to mean for you to achieve these goals? It'll mean everything. Specifically, how's your life going to be different or better because you're driving record profits in 2024? How's your life going to change? How is your health going to be better? How's your family going to be better? How's your peace of mind going to be better? How's your confidence going to be better? How's everything going to be? How specifically are things going to be better? Type in the chat. Let me know. More impact in the world. Keep my house. Back to Tai Chi. Safety, freedom, calm, empowered. Relationship would be better. How is it going to make your relationship better? Joy and fun, impact, begin new book. Imagine making 5 times more money this year than you did last year. All right, now the biggest thing holding us back from driving record profits and having the success that you want, achieving all the results that you want, the biggest thing holding you back is it's that person you see in the mirror every day. It's yourself. You are the biggest thing keeping you from success. I believe that over 90% of success is the inner world, the inner game. And less than 10% is the what to do and how to do. Now you've got to take the actions. But imagine if you had to, in order to take an action, it was like, oh, I'm so stressed. Let's say public speaking. Like, oh, I'm going to grow my business by public speaking, but oh, I hate it. I'm scared. I'm nervous. Oh, what are people going to think? Right? Maybe you can get yourself to do public speaking. And then it's like, can I do it again? I don't know. It's just, right? So if it's that hard to do, it's going to be hard to do consistently. And even if you do it, how good of a job are you going to do with whatever it is? Public speaking, networking, whatever you might need to do. Videos, social media, going live, whatever the thing is that you need to do to get clients consistently. If you're afraid of doing it, it's going to be hard to do it consistently. And then even if you do get yourself to do it, how well will you perform? How good of a job at public speaking are you to do? And you're all like, twisted up inside. So if you want to have record profits, then you've got to be your best self. And the key to being your best self is rapidly working through all that shit that holds us back. The fears, the doubts, the limiting beliefs, right? All that stuff has got to go. Who here would like to be free of all that stuff? All right, I want you to take a moment and think about, where do you think you might be being held back right now? What could be holding you back in your inner world? What are your fears, doubts? Are you afraid of the very thing you want? I'm like, I want clients, but I'm scared of clients. Or are you afraid of money? I want money, but I'm afraid of money. Are you afraid of the process? Do you have doubt yourself? Is it confidence? Just take a moment, write down, type in the chat. Let's just put them all in the chat, unless you're too embarrassed. You don't have to put it in there. But if you can have the courage to put it in there, put as many things in the chat as you can that you think: fear of asking for the money, dread of asking for the money, feeling weird asking for money, talking about the money, sales, fear of rejection, whatever it is, type it in the chat. This is the part we're going to work on next. And not only are we going to work on it, but I'm going to share with you how you can give yourself the most powerful tools to be able to work through these things on your own very quickly. And we'll turn you into one of the most powerful coaches on earth. One of the most powerful coaches and healers on earth. Yes, we've got lots of stuff to work through. I have no money. How can I be a coach? That's my fear. Yeah. How can you? Can you coach somebody even with no money? Even if you have no money? Sure. You don't have to have it all figured out. But if you think no one will hire me because I don't have money, then they're going to have a really hard time getting anyone to hire you. Self-criticism, rejection, fear of rejection, fear of failure, self-doubt, feeling imposter syndrome. Anybody here have imposter syndrome? Am I good enough? Are people going to like me? Okay. All right, let's get rocking. Let's work on some of these. Who here would like to be completely free of the biggest thing holding you back? Raise your hand if you want to be free and you want to work with me right now to resolve it. Raise your hand if you want to resolve, you have a fear and you want to work with me. So raise your hand. Great. Keep it up. I'm going to pick someone. All right, Allison.
Hello there.
Hey, Allison.
I'm in my sweater here and you're in your t-shirt. It's funny.
Well, it's first of all, I used to have that giant wave paint thing. I got mine from IKEA. I used to have that in my office. Yeah, I used to have that in my office back in San Diego, probably like 7 years ago. That's awesome. So you have a big wave back there. I've got lots of waves back here.
I'm waiting for the real one.
Well, you can't wait. You got to make it happen.
Yep.
All right. So what's the biggest thing you think that could be holding you back? And let's resolve it.
I don't know if you can work with this one. It's a particular one. There's some sort of block around receiving money, like despair around money.
Despair?
It feels like despair, but I don't actually. It's not very concrete, so you might want something else to work with.
Where do you feel that in your body?
Stomach.
Okay, then we can resolve it. Everybody follow along. I'm not just going to work and heal. We're not just going to make sure Allison gets healed. We're going to do our best to get everyone healed. I'm going to demonstrate, and we're going to do a handful of healing techniques with Allison right now. But you can also be working on yours at the same time. Now, don't judge how effective this is based on how well it works for you, because I'm specifically helping Allison. But you may as well follow along, because most people will get some benefit or some reduction in the angst, and many people will get completely resolved, including it could be you. But even if it doesn't, it's worth doing. But don't judge. Be like, hey, if you try it, this is your first time ever trying these techniques, trying this healing stuff with me, and if it doesn't work, doesn't make a difference, doesn't make a dent for you, don't be like, oh, this stuff doesn't work. This is your first try, and you're not the actual person I'm working with. But it is going to help most people who pay attention and follow along. So all you need to do is you think about the thing that pushes your buttons. If it's rejection, imposter syndrome, charging fees, you just imagine doing the thing that's scary. You imagine doing it, and you notice where you feel it in your body. Okay? Once you have the feeling, then I want you to put one finger on the most intense part. And if it moves in any direction, even a millimeter or dramatically, if it goes from your stomach to your throat, to your head, to your chest, just keep following along. Or if it even just moves a millimeter up, down, left, right, just keep your finger on that most intense part. Really tune into the most intense part. Then I'm going to do some energy healing. I'm going to do the ultra high frequency energy healing with my hands. Some of you who feel energy and sense energy, you might notice it when I send it. If you do, go ahead and type in the chat if you can feel something. If you don't feel anything, that's okay. It doesn't mean nothing's happening. Just some people have more sensitivity to energy than others. You might be energy blind, right? Like just some people are colorblind. They can't see colors. Some people can't feel energy. That's okay. That's something that we can awaken within you, though, at some point, if you decide to join me in some of my future trainings. So that's the ultra high frequency energy healing. So I'm sending it through my hands. Then I'm going to do this energy healing breath. It's called the instant miracle technique. So I'm going to do that as well. Some people might be thinking, hey, what is this driving record profits? Hey, this is the thing. This stuff is the stuff that's keeping you from driving record profits more than anything else. Most people, it's not like, I don't know what to do. It's they don't do what they know. And why don't we do what we know? We don't do what we know because we're afraid. We got all this angst, doubts, fears, or weird associations, right? Despair tied to money. Like receiving money is despair. It creates despair. I mean, I don't want to make light of that, but like how that's kind of funny. Like most people like not having money would create despair, but the idea of receiving money is like, oh gosh, the despair of getting money. But it is what it is, right? Whatever we have is what we have. Where it came from isn't that important. Usually we don't even need to know where it came from, right? But we all have weird associations that have come up for us somehow. And it doesn't matter if it was from your childhood, from a past life, from what your parents, all that matters is we become free of it. And then now we can move forward with confidence. Okay. So keep tuning in. What's happening in your body right now?
It's been going up and down. It went down to the second chakra. It's gone right back up. It's gone right into the arm. It's moving around. I think the strongest part is in the arm, actually, right arm. So
great. Stay with it. Keep your finger on the most intense part. You're doing amazing. If it's moving out. Do some more energy work with everybody here. Some of you guys might be like, "What is this crazy energy stuff?" Hell, I'll tell you what. I'm a pragmatist. If it works, do it. This stuff works. TSW. So I have not found any techniques that work better, faster, more permanently than what we're doing right here for helping resolve this. The proof is in the pudding. We'll see how well it works for Allison. We'll see how it works for you, for some of the other folks in the group. But you know, this stuff works, and that's why I do it. If it didn't work, I wouldn't do it. If something worked better, I would do the other thing. I would do the other thing. You know, but this works. I've been studying personal growth. I didn't share this story with you guys, but I've been studying personal growth since I was 12. And I mean, I've read all the books. I haven't read all the books. There's a lot of books out there, but I've been reading books since I was 12. Seminars, gurus, plant medicines. I've done it all, and this works the best. So, all right. So what's happening in your body right now?
the stomach area has gone really light, where it was very, very pulling. It's still pulling in the arm, but the rest of it is lightening up. This one's
Stay with
getting
it.
stronger.
Keep your finger on the most intense part.
Mhm.
TSW means this stuff works, or this shit works, depending on how saucy I'm feeling. When you think about getting lots of money, what does it feel like?
Better, but
Okay, so
Going
keep your
back to
finger
the
on the most
stomach.
intense part.
Yeah, it's gone
On
back
a
to the
scale of
stomach.
0 to 10, how intense was it before and how intense is it now?
It was high. I mean, it was like a 9. It went down to really, really low, like down to a 2. It's back up to like about a 6.
Okay, great. Stay with it. Keep your attention on it. Keep sending it energy. Send it love if you can.
Okay.
Jenny says she's kind of numb today. Just be present to the numbness. Just keep surrendering. Be present to all of it. 10 to a 4, 9 to a 0. Awesome, Helen. 7 to a 2, still at a 4, 10 to a 7, 7 to a 5. So great. We're making progress. Let's stay with it. Where is it in your body right now, Allison?
It's still in the arm and at the back, like the back behind the heart. It's in those 2 areas.
Yeah. So I want you to just go ahead and imagine pulling that energy out of your body. Just go ahead and like physically pull it out and hand it to me.
Okay. Hey.
Thank you.
Get a whole load more.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Now tune back in. Notice what it feels like now.
It's gone way down. There's still some residual bits, but it's a lot less. I mean, we're down to like a 3.
Okay. Just tune into that 3 and really just soak it with love, unconditional presence, unconditional acceptance. Just really be with it. Everybody, just really be with whatever's there. Keep your finger on the most intense part, one finger on the most intense part. 10 to a 0. Amazing, Ileana. 10. What was your level 10 issue, Ileana? That sounds intense. Crystal, 8 to a 2, 7 to a 1.5. Good job, everybody. Ileana says, I was scammed by a marketing coach and scared me from going forward. Oh, Ileana, I'm sorry to hear that. I work with coaches who are really good at coaching, or they, have a huge heart and really want to help people. And the biggest thing is, like, I need them to get more confidence to go out there and get a paying client and charge good fees. Right. So my experience is most coaches have big hearts, just really want to help. But there are some terrible, a few bad apples out there, and they're giving us all a bad name, frankly, which is pretty frustrating. I was at a Joe Dispenza event a couple years ago, and Joe Dispenza was like, he was making some jokes about coaches, throughout the event, but really by the end of the day, the last day of the event, he was just talking about, like, oh, coaches go into my Facebook groups or whatever groups, and, like, they're trying to take advantage of people, and I was just like, what? And maybe not like Joe Dispenza, unfortunately, even though I think he's got a lot of great stuff to share. But his experience might be that people are trying to take advantage of people, in his groups and stuff like that. And maybe, it just takes one or two bad apples out there and it makes us all look bad. But it breaks my heart, because I would not be where I am today if not for coaching. I am so grateful for all the coaches that I've had. And I know 99% of everybody I've ever met in coaching just wants to be helpful. Like, it's like being willing to let people give you money is like, it's hard for me to get coaches to be willing to let, like, you know what I mean? It's like, my experience is the complete opposite. Nobody in my world wants to take advantage of people. Most people in my world just want to help people. And most people would care less about the money. When I got started in coaching, I didn't think I was going to become a multimillionaire through coaching. I just thought, man, I love helping people, and I could do this thing that helped me. I got coached, and I was like, wow, I could coach other people and do something I love, something where I'm appreciated, where I get to be my own boss. It was like, I never thought, oh, I'm going to become a millionaire. And I started off charging $195 a month as a coach. Like, the idea that anyone wants to take advantage of people, to me, that's heartbreaking, and frustrating that people, would ever do that. But I know most coaches are just, really caring people that want to help and make a difference. So anyway, I'm sorry that happened to you, Ilyana, and I'm glad we were able to help release that. And I can understand why it would be a level 10. Ilyana says, you have already re-inspired me today, and you also inspired me to be a coach. So happy to reignite the year 2024 with you together. Thanks, Christian. You're welcome, Ilyana. And I'm glad that I could be here for you. We can help you make that from a 10 to a 0. That's fantastic. All right, let's check in with Allison. How are you doing? What's happening in your body?
It's all lightened up a lot. It really has. Most of it, like the stomach area in the back, is gone. There's a little bit persisting here, but like this is a 1 or a 2, and that's it.
When you think about receiving lots of money,
it's hard to think about, actually. What do you mean lots of money? How much are we talking about?
Well, what is lots for you?
Oh, whatever, basically. But
$250,000. How about if you make $250,000 this year?
That sounds good. Okay. That's feeling a lot better. I like the idea of that.
Is there any angst about receiving $250,000 this year?
I don't feel any.
Okay. How about $500,000?
There was a slight, but that was all.
Yeah, well, that's better than despair, but let's go ahead and tune into that slight little. Where is that?
Stomach area again. It's
okay.
Always the stomach. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. It's not always the stomach. Sometimes it's the arms. Sometimes it's other places.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's weird how we make stories that it's always this, it's always that. But it is wherever it is.
Yeah.
Keep your finger on the most intense part. Send it love. Let's all work through some stuff. Let it all go. Keep surrendering. Surrender. Let go. Just let the experience happen. Whatever that angsty feeling is in your body, keep your finger on the most intense part. We're not trying to change it. We're not trying to analyze it. We're not trying to make it go away. We're just being present to it, giving it our full presence. Just surrender. What's happening in your body right now?
A little bit pinching on the arm, but not much now. It's
$500,000 this year.
Yeah.
$500,000.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. I want you to make $500,000 this year.
I'd love to.
You have a very clear, specific niche. Reverse your IBS now. That's good. That's good. Awesome. How much are your clients going to pay to work with you?
5K for 6 months.
Great. 5K to resolve it.
Yeah.
Maybe you can resolve it in 90 days.
Yeah.
Great. So if it's 5K, I think you need 100 people to make 500,000 a year.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can start charging more partway through, right? You don't have to only charge 5,000, but starting at 5,000 sounds great.
Mhm.
Yeah. So 250,000, is that 50 clients?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm terrible at math,
Yeah,
and I'm using my
it is.
phone
It
for
is.
this.
It is.
Okay. I'm terrible at math. I'm not good at counting. I'm not good at counting money, but I'm good at making it. Awesome. Okay. So my goal for you in the next 90 days, I want you to get 20 clients at $5,000 each in the next 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
Are you down for that?
Yeah.
All right. Go for it. Let's give it up for Allison.
Thank you very much, Christian. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Despair at receiving money to now having 500,000 feel amazing. $500,000 feel amazing. Success is inevitable as long as I never give up. Yes. Okay, I think my kids are about to come in. So we went a little bit longer than I was planning. Okay, here I'm outside. Okay, so we're gonna have to wrap this up. Thank you guys for your time, your attention, your heart, your presence. Remember, all around the world, people are struggling to make big changes, and people need your help. Let's get people coached. God bless everybody. Mwah.